is up, YouTube? Welcome to Throwback Thursday Pokemon FireRed Nuzlocke thing. We are here in Silph Co battling our frickin' lives off, or specifically the Boulder is. He's absolutely wrecking everyone's shit, and that's all that matters to me. He's a good lamb like that. He's been tanking a lot, and for that, I am going to go heal him before we progress to the later level, to the later parts of the floors. But, as I mentioned in the last episode, we are going to be starting to do some Q&A questions, as I have a lot of anonymous questions that, unfortunately, I have not been able to answer, so we're going to try to answer some of them here. Now, these questions can range in categories, so if you're looking for something specific, I don't know, maybe I will get around to it, but I do have a bunch of questions that I have written down here. And, without further ado, I guess we should get started reading them. Okay, so the next question is another anonymous one. And actually it goes kind of hand-in-hand with the last one. You go to Disney a lot. Have you ever considered going to any of Florida's other theme parks? The short answer for that is no. I have no interest in going to any other theme parks in Florida. I go to Florida for one reason and one reason only, to visit the mouse. It's not that I don't think the other parks are interesting. I am sort of intrigued by Universal, but I refuse to go to a park where they have giant walking chicken nuggets. Yes, those are the minions, and I will forever despise them. SeaWorld honestly doesn't really do much for me. And the other ones, like you have Busch Gardens Tampa. I mean, I love Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but like I said, I go to Florida for one reason. I go to Florida to visit the mouse, and that's pretty much all else I have to say on the matter. This next question is, what are your thoughts on the New York Mets getting Juan Soto? Okay. Now, I understand they have a lot of money to spend, so, like, I'm not gonna, like, disparage them from spending that money. I just think that the Mets need more. Like, right now, you are the second tier. You are a second-tier MLB team. A lot like what the Mets were in the late 2000s, where you clearly need more than what you're getting. And, yeah. That was wonderfully useful. Thank you, NMan. Here we go. Here's a treasure. Ooh, a protein, too. I understand that they have a lot of money. I will not disparage Steve Cohen for spending it, but I do have to ask one question. And that question, for me, is you gotta get more. You are not better than the Dodgers. So let's be real here. No one is going to be better than the Dodgers for a very long time, given all that they've done with baseball. Whether it's good or bad for baseball can be determined at a later date, but right now the thing that matters is the fact that they are dominating baseball. You're not better than the Dodgers, who you lost to in the championship series last year. Which, by the way, impeccable run they went on. I'm very proud of them. They stuck it out like champs, and they deserve to be treated as such. With that said, you need to make more upgrades. They don't seem keen on investing heavily in starting pitching, which, sure, fine. I'm not gonna complain. But I will say you need to invest in more players because you have a lot of holes on that roster. Your bench is weak. You have a first base hole that you need to fill, since Pete Alonso's probably not coming back in free agency. Maybe future me can have a laugh while he's editing this and see where Pete Alonso signed. If he does, he does. He doesn't, he doesn't. I don't hold grudges against him. He holds grudges against me for what I constantly put him through. But anyway, damn cat is not picking up anything. I understand they have a lot of money. They need to spend it more. You're not better than the Dodgers. You're not better. I would say they're not better than the Phillies. I would say they're not better than... Honestly, they're probably the same type of tier team that they are from last year, where they just barely get into the playoffs. Whether they go on a run from there is entirely up to them, but frankly, I think Met fans, we have of the teams that have won the World Series, we have the 5th longest current drought. When I first started taking that count back in like 2013, 2014, we were like really low on that list. Or like mid. Now you're at the point where 1986 was a very long time ago. You're only behind Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Detroit. Those are the only teams you are behind right now in terms of that drought. Every other team has won a World Series or has never been to one at that point. Has never either won a World Series or has won a World Series at that point. You have the Astros, Braves, everyone in your division has won a World Series since the last time you won it. That's a problem. You need to fix that. And yes, I know that you obviously can't fix Rome was not built in a day, but come on, you gotta give your fan base some more. They've put up with a lot of Mets bullshit over the last year or two. Actually, last year or two, the last several decades. So I think they're owed something. Even if it's just like something little, you're owed something. They need something to fall back on. But I think Juan Soto is going to be a great player for them. I think he will become the face of the franchise inevitably. Will he hold every record by the end of his contract? Most likely. Most hits, it's actually going to be between him and Lindor, honestly. He's going to have a lot of the Mets records. Most walks by far. Probably most home runs. I don't think he'll have as many big power moments as he had with the Yankees since he doesn't have Judge with him in the lineup anymore. But I think he'll still be pretty good. I'm not going to sit there and go, he'll be the next Jason Bay. I think he'll be pretty good for the Mets. Alright, let's move on to the next question. This is about... Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is about what are your thoughts on Zelda, as using that as an LP. I'm very hot and cold on Zelda. Like when I'm in the mood to play a Zelda game, I will play it, and I will play it for a long time. But then I won't touch Zelda for the longest time. And for those of you who don't know, my favorite Zelda games are the two Link ones. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. Maybe it's the art style I really like. Maybe it's something else. But one thing I know for sure is that I love the Toon Link Zelda game. Wind Waker is probably my favorite Zelda game of all time. Minish Cap I've played, Phantom Hourglass I've played, and Spirit Tracks, oh my god, that game is adorable. That doesn't mean, like I said, I haven't played any other Zelda games. I played Ocarina of Time. I delved a bit into Breath of the Wild. And I have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is actually an LP I'm planning for either this year or later next year, depending on how the rest of this year shapes up. So far this year's shaping up to be going pretty well so far. I can't complain. But with that said, I don't think we're going to be doing a Zelda game anytime soon. So if that disappoints you, I apologize, but like I said, it's just one of those, like I said, if I have to, I will. If I won't, I don't. But eventually, yes, we will get to playing Zelda games on the channel. For now, I'm just focusing on, like, the franchises that really defined my childhood. So you've got Pokémon, obviously gets priority. Mario gets priority. Kingdom Hearts gets priority. Star Wars gets priority. Crash and Spyro get priority. Once those games start to whittle away, then I will start breaking out the quote-unquote bigger guns. So like Zelda, Metroid. Because I did play some games back then. I love Metroid Prime. It's one of my favorite video games. But I can't say that like I'll definitely be playing it the next year or two. There's a lot of other games that I've been looking at that I haven't played yet, and there are games that are a part of those franchises I mentioned a minute ago that are releasing new games, really good games. Hell, I bought Princess Peach Showtime, and oh my god, I'm in love with that game. It is so much fun. It's such a different style of game that I'm not even the least bit insulted that Nintendo created a game like that, because it's so beautiful. A lot of people have had good things to say about Mario and Luigi Brothership. A lot of people have had nice things to say about Mario RPG's remake, and other people have had nice things to say about Paper Mario. There's a lot of other, and Legends Arceus is supposed to Legends Zygarde, sorry, is supposed to be coming out this year. They haven't announced when, but I imagine there'll be they'll have a Pokemon thing to update for us. Since the last time we got any wind of a Pokemon update, it was last year around this time. When this is being recorded, of course. Right now, it's January 24th, and I imagine this isn't going up until March or April. March or April, to be precise. But yeah, I fully expect that. Like I said, I just fully expect that there's gonna be times where I will get to play some Zelda games here, but I'm not giving Zelda priority because, like I said, Zelda was not big in my childhood. I'm playing the franchises that were huge for my childhood. We all know Kingdom Hearts was probably the pinnacle for me. Nothing will ever capture my imagination just like Kingdom Hearts did. It's just not happening. But eventually, yes, I will tackle a Zelda game. But for the moment, like I said, it's not immediately in the plans. Hyrule Warriors is probably the closest we'll get for now. But even then, like I said, that's probably later down the line. Next question is another, obviously, anonymous one. And, have you ever considered doing a compilation video for the Gold Classics collection? Honestly, no. And the reason for that is when I make the compilations, I'm making them for years and things that I was super nostalgic for. So like the Walt Disney Classics ones will almost always get priority for me because I'm a Walt Disney Classics collector. And I swear to freaking God, please, DeBoulder, hit this damn bat, please. Thank you. But no, I do things for the years I'm super nostalgic for, or things I'm super nostalgic for. Like, the Masterpiece Collection really was when I was, like, super into, like, the movies and stuff like that. I didn't own many, if any, Gold Classics tapes from what I recall. Thinking back to, like, the tapes we owned, I think the only one we had was, Pocahontas 2 growing up. And that's because we missed Pocahontas 2 when it first came out. And my sister loves Pocahontas, and she loves Pocahontas too. So, yeah. You don't fight me, right? Alright, fine, whatever. Alright, so anybody else I missed? Oh, did not mean to work there. But you know what? That helps. I don't think we missed anybody, but I will go back to that floor if I have to. First things first, we gotta heal. But no, I don't really feel like this. For starters, I don't feel it's something I'm nostalgic for. Like, the Platinum Edition one I made, and I'm nostalgic for the Platinum Editions because those are the Disney movies I believe to be the elite of the elite and Peter Pan. The Gold Classics, I'm not nostalgic for. And then on top of that, a lot of the Gold Classics trailers are more or less the same. It's the same, like, bog standard, trailers. Like, you're gonna see the trailer for the Tigger movie, you're gonna see the Buzz Lightyear, you're gonna see the constant Gold Classics collection promos. There's really no, like, diversity in the openings until you get to like the later ones, like Ichabod and Mr. Toad and the Black Cauldron, which I believe still have the same trailers as each other. There we go. But no, I don't feel nostalgic for it. The trailers list would generally be just very boring. I don't have that big of a draw to do the Gold Classics collection. Besides, I'm going to be doing the Gold Classics anyway when we do the Year 2 compilation 2000. That ain't coming anytime soon, guys. 1999 was very draining. But in, like, different ways than, like, the other big ones were. This one was just really hard to put together. But you'll see it more when it comes out in June. And yes, it's January 24th and the compilation video is done. Don't ask why, it's just done. I was in a pretty sad place at that point, and I wanted to do something, and I ended up putting like 8 hours of work into the video immediately, and then out of nowhere I'm like, oh shit, I'm done. I shouldn't be done, but I'm done, and I was done. The only thing I couldn't add was the Pinocchio making of special at the end of Pinocchio video, and that's just because it was like, I'm not dealing with that copyright crap. I'm gonna have to deal with it anyway when I go back to do the oldest Supreme editions of 97 and 98. But like I said, that is a problem for future me. Present me, he don't care. Alright, so next question should be the last one of this episode, if the boulder will actually decide to attack for once. That would be... where are you? There you are. No, that's not the question I wrote down. Scribble it down. Okay, we'll go with this one. This is an anonymous question about my Crimson Fury series. Okay. I have gotten a couple of those, which is interesting. I'm very thankful that you guys are paying attention to it. What happened to Walter O'Hara after the events of Crimson Fury? For those of you who don't know, Walter O'Hara is a very on-the-nose allegory for a certain political media channel in the Crimson Fury universe and in our universe, where they just blatantly say falsehoods and untrue things and do everything just for ratings. And Walter O'Hara, as is revealed in Crimson Fury, spoilers for if you were looking to read it, Walter O'Hara ends up being a puppet for the evil group in the story, the Syndicate. And because of this, Boulder's gonna be level 40. I just realized that. Yeah, we gotta retire to Boulder. He's gotta share some of that experience with everybody else. But with that said, Walter O'Hara is the puppet for the evil organization in the story, the Syndicate. And he uses his position to criticize the champion and do some pretty cold and evil things. But the most evil thing he does in the story is he uses his position after the champion is believed to be killed to say, go out there and fight for your region. Now, the Syndicate, in case you guys don't know, they kidnap trainers and use them and give them these artificial brands, which in turn can release the Crimson Fury in them, which makes them and their Pokemon significantly stronger at the cost of their own physical health. And the inability to control their rage and lust for battle and all that crap. Walter O'Hara is, of the original Syndicate leaders, the only one who does not appear after the first story. And the reason for that is... The real reason is I didn't have anything to write for him. I did have a bit of, like, something when I first started writing the sequel, Midnight Shroud. But honestly, it was at the point where I'm like, I don't really see this going anywhere. I don't want this story to just turn into an on-the-nose, political thing. I want this to be a full-blown story about overcoming anger and becoming a good Pokemon trainer, regardless of, you know, positions, intent, and all that crap. Oh, you're not a trainer. I think I have time for one more. Walter O'Hara is, at the end of Crimson Fury, arrested and... are you a trainer? You are. Okay, beautiful. Walter O'Hara is arrested and put in jail. However, because he is probably a really big snake, he rats out... I'd like to think he ratted out a lot of his syndicate friends and got a lot of them in more trouble than they would have been. And as a result, he went into hiding. Because he's not involved in Midnight Shroud or Dawn of Arcana. He has no real... He's the only syndicate leader who does not appear in any of the other ones. And honestly, it's probably for the best because, like I said, I really didn't have anything for him to do in this one. I know you might sit there and go, oh, you could have thought of something, but I'm like, I thought of other things. Like, I wanted to do stuff with the bad guy Claude. I wanted to do stuff with... yeah, I want to do bad stuff with... I want to do stuff with the bad guy Claude and stuff with other of the admins. Courtney, Hunter, all that jazz. I didn't really want to focus too heavily on Walter O'Hara because, like I said, it's not about the political angle. For this, it's entirely about the ethics behind everything and the story, which honestly really does not need him. Hence why we progressed and moved on to another thing. I do have a few more questions, but I will answer them in the next episode because, well, we're done. We have other things to do. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm your friendly neighborhood NMan64. Join me next time where we take out the last of the Rocket Grunts and take on our rival in a no-holds-bar showdown with this lucky Chesto Berry that the HM slave picked up for me. Will it truly be lucky, or will it be doomed to die? Who the hell knows? Until we meet again, my lovelies, sayonara.